Welcome to the Vendetta Effect.
And welcome back to the Vendetta Effect. And let's start by introducing our players. And we'll start with Devin.
Hey, I'm Devin, and I play Mason.
And M.
Hello, I'm M, and I'm playing Tabitha Sawyer.
And Rob.
Hey, I'm Rob, and I play Spencer.
And Webby.
Hey guys, I'm Webby, and I play Doc.
So you guys wander out. Spence, okay, we'll go with Mason and Doc first. Or you're just looking, you're not doing anything? You're just
I'm not doing it. They're just mental notes of patrols, where they patrol, how often, and any guard posts might be.
Okay, I'd like you both to roll a clever for me, please. Or not clever, a careful for me, please.
Okay.
No, not you.
Whatever.
Doc and Mason.
Would this count towards my investigative wizard stunt?
Yes.
Okay, so this plus 2. So
No,
7.
That's pretty good. Mason?
Mason.
Devin, careful! Fell asleep.
Devin's fallen asleep. He was laying on his bed, now he's asleep.
He's on his
Actually, I
mattress
just
that's
got back. Don't worry about
flying
it.
through space.
Actually, I just got back, so don't worry about it. Careful,
Roll
roll.
careful.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right, I'll just call it a 5 and keep it moving, because that's how this game works. I rolled 20, shouldn't I? I think it did. No, it didn't. I'm calling a 5. 4. close
4,
enough.
not bad. Okay. So you get the lay of the land fairly quickly. You can see that there are guards mostly towards where the base is. They don't really, they patrol the town, but they don't really have like guard units set up at the edges of the community. It's not like a prison. But there's definitely a heavy military presence around the town. And you will definitely see guards that are moving in and out and asking for papers and things like that on occasion. But they're not like super duper tense. They pretty much know everybody in the town. If you're a stranger, they'd be much more concerned. But because you guys have been careful about it and not obvious, they don't really notice you guys. So you get back after having checked everything out and got a pretty good lay of the land.
Good.
In the other location, as you guys go towards the house, you can see that this house is different from the rest. It's been built of brick. It looks much more extravagant. It's like a dacha, if you want to use that kind of terminology, which is kind of like the Soviet mansion houses. And the location is very fancy, basically. There are guards posted at the door and on the corners of the street. But you don't see much else other than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks as if there is no vehicle there yet. So while there are lights on and things, you don't see any sort of visit by anybody quite yet. So Pietro turns to you, Spencer, and says, as far as I can see, I don't think he's got here yet. Do we want to try and sneak the lady in?
Yes, I mean, that would probably be the best course of action.
Alright. I will take you through the back area. It's probably the easiest thing. It faces the river. There are guards, but they don't patrol all the time. They're not terribly efficient. So if we are careful, we can probably avoid them and maybe be able to sneak in.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so
Alright.
both of you roll careful. Yay!
We can't do sneak.
I mean, you could do sneaky, yeah.
Thank
Sorry.
the Lord.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
Oh.
You want to roll sneaky instead?
Sure.
3. 3! That's a better option, yeah. Okay,
Thank
so...
you,
Yeah,
John.
no problem. I realized that I said careful, then categorically sneaky makes more sense.
Yeah, it
So you guys get through the gate at the back. Basically, you sneak under a fence or over a fence. Luckily, this is before cameras are kind of everywhere. So you're able to sneak into the house. Pietro basically lets you in and then says, the woman, she waits for him, usually in the main room. She might be there now. Go carefully. I will wait for you at the back fence. When you are done whatever it is you're going to do, meet me back there. I will go find your friends and try and get them here too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And he leaves. You are standing in a kitchen.
Cool. So, it's just a kitchen. How many doors are there in this kitchen?
So there's 2 doors. There's one to the outside and one to the rest of the house.
And we're already in the kitchen, so let's go to the door that goes inside. How about, what do you think, Sawyer? Not Sawyer.
Spencer?
I mean,
Spencer. Spencer,
that's
not
you, Debbie. You're
I know. I
talking
Why
to
you
yourself
talk to
again,
yourself?
Debbie.
Yes.
know. Uh-oh. Yeah.
I mean, I think we should find this woman, and you should probably take her place. I would assume the bedroom is probably where she is.
Yeah, I would assume so too. It just, I have a bad feeling about this. But, you know what? It's gonna be fine.
It's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine.
Exactly.
I have the picture of that dog sitting at the burning bar. This is fine.
Yeah, exactly. This is okay. Everything's perfect. There's never anything wrong with this. That's right. Okay, so you guys enter in the next room, I guess?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you come into the next room, it's kind of a grand place. Like there's a lot of fine china laid out. There's kind of a dining area set up. There's a very elaborate hutch in the background, and there's a lot of, like I said, fine dinnerware and things. And there's a massive place setting at the center of it, and it looks to be set up for something. And there are bottles of champagne at the center of it.
Okay. Well then. There's nobody in the room though.
Nope, it is completely vacant of people at the moment, surprisingly.
And we're in the bedroom, so maybe she's someplace else, or maybe we need to just hide in the closet and wait.
I mean, I would like to talk to her first before this guy shows up.
Okay, yeah, this might also be a good idea. I have my gun. You have your gun, right?
I don't know. I probably would not have my cane in my hat now.
No, but you didn't bring another gun?
That's where he keeps his gun, is in his cane.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm glad that you're useless. Thanks, Spencer. I'm so glad to know that you did not... It's fine. Everything's going to be okay.
It's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
It'll be fine, Tabby. Not everything can be solved with guns.
No, but they sure do help.
It's not completely wrong.
No. She's...
Um,
Well then, if I were a girl, where would I be? The bathroom. She's gonna go and look for a restroom.
Okay,
It's a
so
A little sexist, but it's okay because she's
right.
a woman.
So basically, there's 2 doors in front of you. One,
Okay.
or not in front of you, but there's 2 doors, other than the door to the kitchen, off
Okay.
of this room.
Okay.
So if you go into the one room, It leads to what looks to be a hallway.
Oh, we're not. We're in a dining room, aren't we?
Yeah. And then you
sorry.
thought you were in the main hall? Yeah,
No,
no,
I
you
thought
weren't.
we were in the bedroom already.
Oh,
I
no.
thought we just
Oh,
skipped
heck
there.
no. Nope.
Okay. So no, there's nobody in the dining room. So I would assume she's probably upstairs, or in a living room or
I
something.
mean, is there an upstairs? Or is it on one floor?
There is definitely a second floor, yes.
Okay.
So there's a hallway to the one. Do you open up the other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen first.
Okay, so you hear what sounds like music playing?
Oh. Nothing else?
Well, not at this point, no.
I draw my gun and I'm gonna carefully start opening the door. Spencer wants to take this one.
That's up to Spencer. What do you want to do, Spencer?
I'll follow. I'll stay behind her. She's got the gun.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Fair.
So yeah, I slowly open the door. Is there anybody in there?
Slowly she creeps. It is a main room. There is furniture sort of positioned in various places. You see someone sitting with her back to you. She has her hair in a bun.
Is it blonde hair?
It is. No, it's more like a dark color.
Okay. So I'm asking, is it nobody that we recognize?
No, not yet. You only see the back of her. Dark hair, very elaborately done up, though. You can see fancy sort of gold and pearl earrings, and what looks to be a fairly fancy kind of modern Western dress.
All right, I'm going to hand Spencer the gun, and I'm going to gesture, and I'm going to do a little tippy-toe motion with my hands and point at her, and then like make a hand motion like I'm grabbing her. Do you understand me?
Yeah. No, sorry, I was cracking up because I was gonna go in and say, I was thinking of going in and just saying "Dos Vidania," but then I realized that means goodbye. two strangers just creep into your house and say goodbye.
Well, that's one option.
I guess you could.
Oh, dearie me. So, yeah.
I'll nod to her. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Roll me a flashy roll, would you please?
Oh, him? Okay. Oh, no.
No, you.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you're the one
To
doing
communi-
something.
I wasn't doing anything. I was motioning
You were
for
creeping up on her. What were you going to do?
No, I was telling Spencer to go do this for me sneakily.
Oh, why
hand motioning.
him?
Oh,
Why
you
him?
handed me the gun, so I thought you were doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so did I. That's the way I took it, too.
Fine,
is
then
that-
I will go in there and I'll do it then. Fine, whatever.
I
Whatever.
wish I knew this was happening. I would have gone in there and chloroformed.
I know.
Yeah, I thought of that after. I was like, damn, I should have asked doctors for chloroform.
Yeah, oh well. It's fine. It's fine. We can just kill anybody. Well, actually, no, we need to know what's going on. Uh-oh.
So what are you doing?
I'm sneaking in and I'm grabbing her and gagging her.
Okay, roll me a sneaky.
You just said flashy.
Well, that's because I thought you were... I mean, you can do flashy if you want, I guess.
I mean, if we're doing sneaky, I'd rather Spencer do it.
He's just
I
not
know.
very good at the
I was just
forceful
confused
rolls.
because I thought you walked up behind her. And I thought you handed me the gun and then walked up behind her.
Yeah,
and
that's
motioned
what I thought
me
you were
like,
doing.
Do you
so-
want me to
No,
grab her? So I just said yes. And then they were like, well, why isn't Spencer doing it? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You're
that was
over
exactly
there.
what I thought, too.
I guess you guys mentioned the part where I'm pantomiming this. To him.
No, I heard you pantomiming.
That was
I thought you were
that was
asking
the
me,
part
do
that
you
I was
want
confused
me
by,
to
yeah.
grab her silently with
It would be awfully, I don't know, presumptuous of me. To
I will
assume
hand
that
Tabby back the gun and creep across the room.
Webby. Okay.
Oh no.
Make
That's
sure
not
you
bad.
say goodbye to her, Rob.
Okay.
I actually will. I'll whisper.
Okay.
This
As
be
you
the
get
most horrifying moment of this poor lady's life.
as you get closer, Spencer, something about this person will seem familiar.
I
Oh.
knew it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it Smiley?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Can I roll a clever?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the woman that we've run into before, that Russian woman who tried to say that she was...
As you do, your sister turns around and looks at you.
Oh,
And says,
What are you doing here?
Audrey. What are you doing here?
I'm trying to find out that information. That's my job.
That is exactly what we are doing here.
But why? Why are you here? Why did they send you?
Because you're no good at your job.
Because you're an idiot.
Okay.
She can't even speak Russian.
She can't. So she can't understand what you're saying.
Fair point.
We came to have her take your place, but I guess we don't need to have her take your place. You're already in your place. And he's like throwing up his hands like...
My mind. I am about to lose my mind listening to this.
it's all in Russian.
I point my gun at her, and then I point my gun at him and say, wait, what's going on?
I thought you gave your gun to him.
Yeah,
He gave it
no, he gave it back because she didn't want to creep up on her.
Yeah.
So he
And,
was being the creepy one.
Yep. I saw her back to Tabby, and Tabby, it's my sister.
Oh. What? Why is your sister having sex with a Soviet?
I don't want to know that part.
Sorry that I said that. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, John. That's not PG.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely okay. It's acceptable. You didn't say anything wrong.
Audrey, are you here on behalf of the American government or the Australian?
I'm here on behalf of the Australian government.
Well, that would be why
Very Irish.
they sent us.
I
both.
know, it's terrible. I do this quite often when I'm trying not to. And she stops and looks at you and breaks into a very American-sounding accent. Says,
I can do a lot of different accents.
John, why didn't you just use your regular voice?
Because I'm breaking into my own.
Okay.
She's trying very badly to prove a point. And she looks over at you, Spencer, and says,
We're not supposed to be telling anybody what's going on here. That's why I'm here. That's why Shush didn't know about it.
Well, I mean, that's why we're here, because we didn't know about it, but we know that there's some kind of new launching mechanism that supposedly will allow their rockets to reach Western Europe, maybe even the US.
She nods at that and says,
Yes, so he tells me.
I mean, what is your long-term goal? Ours is to attempt to get inside and get a hold of the scientist.
and she smiles and says,
One moment.
and she says in Russian,
Sergei, please come out. All the fun is over now. They're not here to do anything.
and this gentleman comes out from another room, and he is, let me see here if I can put him on the screen so you can see what he looks like. Copy.
Another guy named Sergey.
Yep, his name, it's Russia, you know, that's the way it goes. Bam, Popcatch Jet. There's his picture, too. So that's the guy, Sergei Korolev. And better known as for this time period as the chief constructor or chief designer.
Oh, I know who he is.
Oh, well, that's who we were here to see. So I guess this really uncomplicates matters.
He smiles and looks at you and says, Indeed, my friend. Have a seat, would you? There are many things we need to talk about.
Pull up a chair, Tabby. You're not going to understand any of this, but have a seat.
I sit down.
He looks at you and he says, where are your other friends?
They are attempting to scout out the military around the city in case we need to make a quick retreat.
Have you got a way to get in touch with them?
He kind of looks. He looks at Tabby, and then he looks back, and then he looks down at the floor. No, we do not.
I
Not
see.
currently.
A young lady, do you think you can track them down?
Is he
Probably
speaking
not.
English?
No, he isn't. That's when he realizes. So he looks at Audrey and says, Audrey, can you find them for me? And she nods at him and says,
There, darling, I will find them.
and she leaves out the back way. Doc.
Yep.
You and Mason have just scouted the area. You were on your way back to the house when a very familiar person comes up to you. She is wearing dark hair instead of her normal red hair, and she looks a little thinner than she did the last time you saw her. But Audrey says,
Ah, Igor. How's it going?
in Russian,
Good.
Sorry.
she nods and says,
Your friend, my brother. He needs to see you immediately. Will you come with me?
I'll nod, and then I'll nod to Mason, and we'll follow.
okay, she takes you back towards the house, the big house. She actually goes past the guards and kind of nods at them, and they nod back. Opens the front door and brings you guys in. You'll see Spencer and Tabby sitting down on the couch, and the object of your target sitting, looking expectantly as you come in. He is in his late 40s. He has kind of a weary look about his eyes, but in other ways looks well fed, looks well dressed. He's got a fairly dapper suit on, and is otherwise well taken care of. Bit gray on the side.
I'm going to look at everybody, and then I'm going to look at Spencer. I'm going to say, well, this uncomplicates things, and I'm going to pull out a syringe and just start walking towards him.
And Audrey grabs your arm and says,
No, we don't need that.
I mean, we might.
Okay,
It's not-
how about
It's
this
probably not
then?
what you think it is.
You sit down and listen to him, and if he isn't working properly, then you can give him another serum. How about that?
This? We offer to use it to him and leave it up to him. It is, however, a truth serum. And
Sergei looks at you and says, I will take it if you want.
see,
I have no fear.
I look at Audrey and like with an exasperated expression. I'm not always a monster.
She pinches her face and says,
I have yet to see that.
I walk
Yeah,
over
you-
and I give Sergey the proper amount.
okay. He squinches a little bit when you put in the inoculation,
I apologize to him in Russian.
and he nods. He kind of grits his teeth, but otherwise just takes it. And he looks up at you guys and says, what are your questions?
What's your full name?
Sergei Pavlovich Korolev.
Yep, not gonna remember that. Okay, hold on. I'll write that in my notes. I'm just gonna put Sergey Plav Lav 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 and call it a day.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Next question.
I look at Spencer. Next question. I mean, technically, we were told just getting his name would be a tremendous help. Step 1 done.
I would rather you not give it to the Americans.
Well, okay, sir.
I will explain myself, if you would like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Explain that. Explain this missile thing. Explain what you're doing.
Yes, our main mission is to discover if you have developed the capabilities to reach the Western Europe or the US with nuclear missiles.
We have a missile under construction that will reach Western Europe easily enough. It will take us a few more years to get to America, but not long. Not long. The concern is that it's not really about, at least initially, trying to deal with the Americans. There's a far worse concern that we have.
What's that concern?
We believe, although we don't have evidence quite yet, that there is an alien power which has been infiltrating our world. After the death of Joseph, our current leadership is a little wiser. They're not as blinded by hatred. And the fears are definitely there. But at the same time, we can't let the Americans have things that we don't. Thus, we are working towards our own programs. We are going to put a satellite in space in 2 months. Something that will send radio signals from orbit. Again, I'd rather you not fill in the entire American public, but it is a test.
Now, you understand, Sergei, that though we won't necessarily relay all of this information to, say, all of the American government, we do have to report back to our special division.
I will put it this way. If your government gets hold of my name, they will kill me where I stand right now. And the best possible attempt to deal with the threat goes away. I've already gone to the gulag once. I don't prefer to do it again.
Shush is a very different kind of organization. We too are attempting to deal with this alien threat and have found evidence of it as well.
Plus, Sergei, if Shush wanted you dead, you'd be dead.
I'm aware of that. Your young friend here has been very persuasive in telling me all of this. That's the only reason why I'm talking to you now. Otherwise, I would have called the guards on you when you came into this town as strangers.
As long as we're all under... As long as we all know that we're going to be keeping this in-house, so to speak.
Indeed. That is my objective.
Sure. Continue.
Have you been working with a white box about yay big, smooth, with the metal pieces on the bottom?
The KGB and some scientists have been working on something along that line that they found in the Siberian areas after the explosion in the early part of this century. From the crash of that meteor.
Spencer will nod.
The Imperials didn't understand what they'd found, and some of my friends made sure they didn't understand it, shall we say. They were trying to crack that when they were also looking for the way to beat the Nazis before the war. But then they arrested me for trying to hold the information back, and I got sent to a gulag for a year. Let me tell you, pounding on gold rock for a year is not what I call an exciting existence. I'd rather not do it again. I'm too old for that kind of crap.
How old are you?
Yes, I'm going to be 60 this year.
What's your date of birth?
January 12th.
Do you have family? Wife,
Yes.
children?
Yes.
Doc arches an eyebrow.
Why not? Is there something wrong with that?
No.
Having
not at
family?
all. Are they here with you?
No.
Oh, where are they?
They remain elsewhere. At least, my ex-wife lives elsewhere. You see, I have a small addiction to women, and I have continued to have that addiction.
And I just eyeball Audrey.
Yeah, he's kind of had he's a serial marriage person.
Okay. I mean, Spencer, I don't know what other kind of information we're supposed to be getting.
So most of the rocket experiments here are to attempt to get to space.
Indeed. Well, that and the R7, of course. The R7 booster is to be the first of our intercontinental missiles. It will be what will, in the end, probably be targeted at your country. But at the moment is being used to launch Sputnik. In the end of September.
And did you come by these designs for these on your own, or were they prompted from the box and other materials?
He smiles at that. He says, no, my father helped me learn some of those things.
I'm going to describe that circular sphere thing with like the little antenna things that the guy drew in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
That's a Sputnik.
What does it do?
It's a satellite. It beams radio signals from, well, what we hope will be low Earth orbit back to Earth. It's not sophisticated. But it is the first of its kind. We have a few others that we're going to test. But they're still under consultation yet. I mean, in the end, we want to reach the moon. That's the target. That's the reality. But we are a long way off.
I do know that the United States wishes for the same. It's going to be
I know that
race, I suppose.
Oh, indeed. The program has already begun. I know that already. I've been told by the KGB. We are on the clock, as it were. We will be done soon, though. And then the Americans will wonder what happened. He smiles again. Can you guys all roll clever for me, please?
Sure. I'm going to ask him...
Everyone who can speak Russian, or just the people that... or everybody?
All of you.
Oh, okay. That's terrifying. Oh, no. I'm just not rolling well tonight.
Fine. So, no, she doesn't need to roll. Okay, so, Spencer and Doc, you will note, every once in a while, it seems like his eye color changes briefly. And it's hard to tell exactly what it's changed to, but you can sense that it kind of swirls a bit.
Well, I mean, I know what that means, but Spencer doesn't.
No, has no idea.
Your eyes, my friend, are very peculiar.
Are they? Oh, I must watch that, shouldn't I? Wouldn't want to turn the KGB on me over my eyes. They are very mistrustful.
If you'd like, I can remove them.
I'd rather keep them. I have a program.
I kind of grin where it's like, maybe I was joking.
It's a bad grin. Yeah, I got it. It's like a grin that's not really a grin. I got you. And he smiles at you and says, "It's fine, sir. It's fine. But I will tell you. This is a project that has taken many years to come to fruition. Many of my ancestors looked up at the stars and wondered what was to be found out there. This is but a first step in a very long process. I wish the Americans well, to be honest. I'd rather not be in a race. I'd rather be in a cooperative venture, but we are not there yet. Not with the current political environment.
What happens after we leave here?
I continue the work on the rockets. We continue to try and get to space.
Are you going to inform anybody of our presence here?
I will inform only those that need to be informed, which is no one. Except for you can pass a message on for me, would you please?
Possibly.
And he says, and he changes just instantly into English. He says, can you tell Thomas that I look forward to seeing what he is able to accomplish with his organization in the near future? And he smiles at you all.
This whole conversation, we could have been having in English, so we wouldn't have to relay all this information to these two after. Doc is speechless. He stumbles for words, and he walks to the opposite, crosses his arms.
He smiles. He says, well, I mean, you didn't trust me. You think I trust you?
Actually, I do have one more question. Doc walks up to him.
Okay.
He's sitting in a chair or something, right?
Yep.
Do you have any, say, like old injuries? Like me, my knee every so often. Sometimes when it rains, it really bothers me. Anything like that? Any type of long-lasting injury?
Yes, of course, from the time in the mines. And he shows you his pinky is kind of crooked.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I got this when some idiot bashed me when he's trying to take my lunch.
No, but is it still painful?
Every once in a while, yes.
Doc grabs his pinky and twists it a little bit.
He grimaces and says, I deserve that.
Fair.
I deserve that. And he says, those white boxes that you talk about, if you ever figure out what they are about, be sure to keep them safe.
Oh, don't you worry. They're safe.
They may be a key to something bigger.
At the word key, Spencer kind of straightens up a little. What do you know about the alien threat?
I know that they are coming, and I know that they are among us. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they are. Not yet, anyway. Not fully.
Did you know that they have enemies besides us?
Yes. But
Perhaps,
again, I don't know much about it. I'm not an archaeologist.
Perhaps in these instances we should begin working together. I'm starting to mix the freaking Australian and the Russian together. God damn it.
Uh-huh.
Would you be open to some kind of cooperative venture? Secret, of course. Having to do with this threat. And kind of, he nods to Audrey too. We could kind of create maybe a multi-country council on the subject.
I've talked with others about this. There has been suggestion of something similar, but we are not there yet. Certainly not my government, and certainly not yours. But I will be sure to keep it in mind. And I will plug away, shall we say, at trying to convince our people that it would be good. But unfortunately, right now, there's too much suspicion, too much concern that your side is keeping secrets and we don't know them.
Doc is just going to have the biggest grin for just a moment, and then he's going to quickly go straight face again. as if realizing what he was just doing.
Nice. He looks at you all and says, "My friends, I would suggest in the morning you take your leave. You have your information. If you need to tell the Americans something, you can tell them that in 2 months there will be a satellite in this orbit around this world, and that they'd better hurry up if they want to keep up with us." He smiles at you all and says, "Please know I mean you no harm, and I will make sure, to the best of my ability, that we do not make any real progress on the waging of war. But I cannot promise that we will not make nuclear weapons. I cannot promise I can keep them from making these intercontinental missiles. At the end of the day, we may even need them."
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
One of the biggest things that we fail to have in this world is trust. We didn't trust you in the war. We didn't trust you after the war. We didn't trust you before the war. The time is coming soon where we are all going to have to trust one another. And I believe you are correct. I think we are coming to a point where we need to have common cause. But we are still not there yet. This war by other means still goes on, and until it is over, we will not be able to unite properly.
Agreed. We're going to have to unite forces against Canada.
He smiles at that, and he says, "After all, who knows where these people will come from and what they are?"
Canada,
yes. And with that,
Well,
what?
hold on. Just before we go to get up, Spencer will say, maybe one step towards being able to trust each other. You spoke of keys earlier. I've learned from someone who is not of our world that there are keys that can help us. And I do not believe they are physical keys that open some kind of box. Something else. Some kind of metaphor or something to do that's not quite tangible. We all need to search for it, whatever it is.
He smiles and he says, "Well, obviously knowledge would be one of those things. My suggestion is you may need to start looking at our genetic code. I believe deep down that's where it is located. This new path, the new human, if you want to call it that. But I'm a rocket scientist. I know nothing about the body.
Doc squints.
But there is some suggestion of that, I have heard. That we may have some power we don't even know about yet. But that will not be something I can really explore or be able to even describe to you, to be honest. That will take scientists to figure that out. Ones that work on medical means, not on my physical engines. I'm trying to move humanity forward by technology, not by playing around with bits and pieces of them."
Then and he looks at Doc. We may need to find a geneticist of some kind.
That's not a thing yet.
No, it's not a thing yet. It's getting close, though. Actually, it is a thing. It's just barely a thing.
Just barely a thing.
Yeah.
Sorry
Doc
that was
Doc
one
throws
I
up his
jumped in
hands
'cause
like
I don't
he was-
speak. My character doesn't speak Russian.
No,
Doc
speaking
throws up his
English.
hands.
Yeah, this is in English, by the way.
Oh my god.
This part is. Yeah, ever since he
Fine.
said he speaks English.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. No
I've been
problem.
asking questions. Oh well.
I mean, you're more than welcome to if you want to at the minute.
Nah, it's all good. It's a-okay. There's nothing really Tabby wants to know other than this is all a lot for her.
Mm-hmm. Fair. So, yeah. Anything else you wanted to ask? Wanted to know?
Mm-mm.
No.
How exactly are we going to get out of this town?
Doc just looks exasperatedly at Spencer.
Why?
because you're like, your comment that you just made to him, Doc is taking it like as if you're asking Doc, we might need to get a hold of a doctor. Like all of his research, all of his notes are just meaningless. Like he just threw up his hands. He's like, I'm done. I quit.
No, he looked at you like how he was like before when he said we may need to find another woman, and then he looked at Tabby like we need a geneticist. Oh look, there's one right here in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Doc crosses his arms, walks to the door.
Oh dear.
He tells Mason in English. He says, "I can't wait to get out of Russia."
And so he looks at you all and says, "We will get you out, no problem. In the morning, you will leave. You will go the way you came. The guards have been bribed. They will not check into anything. But if you stay any longer than that, it will be trouble. Go meet your people and leave."
But if we leave, we'll make it double.
What? Shut up.
It's a song lyric. Don't worry. Don't.
I know what it is. I knew it was Pokemon from the beginning.
It's
not
what?
Pokemon.
It wasn't
Yeah,
Pokemon.
wasn't it?
It was no.
I said trouble. You said make it
Clash.
double. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
Should I stay or
only
should
heard-
I go now?
Oh, right. Okay. My
If I
apologies.
stay,
My
there will be
apologies.
trouble.
I realize. Okay. Yes.
Will be double.
Okay.
Wow,
All right.
you
All
were
right.
a bigger dork than we thought you were.
He
John.
definitely is. Yeah.
No, John.
No, you.
Mr. Pokemon.
Sorry, I have children. What do you want? Anyway.
All right, fine. That's a fair excuse.
There we go. Thank you. I have watched way too many Pokemon shows / movies that I never wanted to watch. Alrighty, so if there's any other questions, we'll move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
We out. We leave.
Okay. So you guys make it out. You find your contacts about a week later, basically, by the time you get back to where they are. Because they're a bit farther away than where the final meeting place is.
Right.
And they take you back across the border. You fly back, and you have all of your various items. Basically the rod is taken from you guys, and you never see it again. Gets put with Indy's 10 Commandments. No. The box, however, Bradford has sitting on his desk, and he asks Doc to come in.
I do so.
Have a seat.
I sit.
So,
How long have we
This
been
is-
back, John?
I'm going to say a few days at
Okay.
most.
I hand him a manila envelope or whatever, with my report on everything that happened.
And he says, "I understand you want to have an interview with young Cheng,
Young Min.
correct?"
Min.
Min. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, I think she's would be most beneficial to research.
He nods and says, "Well, we will see. I have taken it under advisement. I'm sure your CIA contacts would love to get their hands on her, but she is kind of key to our Asian access points at the moment."
Well, we can always get whatever's in her head out of her head and into somebody else's, Bradford.
Uh-huh. I'm sure. He smiles at that. I'll take it under advisement. How about that?
Okay.
However, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
What are your feelings about being in charge of things?
Here?
Yes.
Or just in my lab?
Well, I may put Mason in charge of here, but I wanted to get your feelings on
I give him
how you'd
finger
be able
pistols.
to handle that.
I give him finger pistols. I say that's probably a better choice.
But
I don't know if you've noticed, Bradford. People around the office, they don't like me. They think I'm a monster.
Well, Doc,
You understand that everything that goes on in that lab, I'm pretty much told to do.
I know that.
So, just because I'm the only one in the office...
Just because you take some enjoyment out of it, that's what people are concerned about. It's not what you're doing, it's the way you do it that concerns us.
It's what I do. I enjoy the research. I enjoy learning.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
He sits back in his chair, defeated.
Either which way, that's not my point. My point is that each one of you are going to be asked to be in leadership roles in the next little while. And I'm just here to warn you that you're one of them. Mason will probably have to take over here soon. But your time is coming, my friend.
I'll tell you what, Bradford. You're taking the Min thing under advisement.
You'll take your leadership under advisement?
I'll take this under advisement.
That's all I ask.
Under consideration.
That's fair. But I'll warn you, I'm retiring in 2 years. I, unlike you, don't feel or look like I'm still a 30-year-old.
And you want me in a leadership position?
Yes, I think you actually have a lot of good qualities under the right direction. I think you could be a fantastic leader. I mean, Mason will always be kind of under my wing. I mean, I helped guide him here in the first place. But I want you to know I respect you and what you do and your ability to get things done. And he pats the white box that's sitting on the desk. This device alone is critical to uncovering what is going on in this world. And without you, we would not have it. Without Spencer, we would not have it. Without Mason and without Tabby, we would not have it. That alone makes you all very valuable to us, outside of your normal activities.
Does that mean I get to research this box?
Of course. What else would I have you do? Good luck. No one's been able to figure it out yet. But I have faith in you. And if you need to, and you need outside resources, just let me know. There are some that are coming to the conclusion that we need to do that.
Doc grins. I need Min. And he'll pick up the white box and just walk out of the office.
You see Bradford shaking his head as you leave. With that, I think we're going to end the series.
What?
So,
and as I walk by Min's desk, I just give her a smile and I just keep walking.
She looks very quizzical as he walks away. All right. So until next year. Webby, where can we find you online?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at JaxForestWalker, all one word. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/DMWebby every Friday when I stream with my buddy Devin. And I'm also on Instagram. I don't remember what my name is. Look it up. Patrick.Webster52, maybe?
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
There you go. Bam.
And M.
Hi, I'm Em, and you can find me on Twitter as Father Orange, Tumblr as Orange Juice Blogging, or nowhere else. Nowhere else.
She's social media'd. And Rob.
Hi, I'm Rob, and you can find me on Twitter at Confessor_X and on Twitch at twitch.tv/ConfessorX. And I'm also hoping that John meant to say end the season and not end the series.
Yeah, season, not series.
That's what I
This is John's way of subtly telling us we don't get renewed for the next season.
Okay, to be fair, I meant season, not series. It's because in Britain they say series, and I'm always muddling at.
Don't worry.
Okay, so this will be a fill-in.
Podcast ruined you.
Yeah.
And Devin, yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at DMP_Pookie and on Twitter at Pooh Killed Me every Friday. On Twitch at Pooh Killed Me every Friday with my main man Webby. Bam!
I also am very sad that I'm no longer co-host of Simply Unprofessional. I turned that over to Rob. He's a great man, and I hope he'll do good. Well, thank you, Devin. That is very big of you.
Oh, God. He's going to kill you all. All right. Until next time, we'll see y'all later. Enjoy, and there will be more interesting stuff coming soon. We hope to have a podcast starting in a couple of weeks that Rob is running. So
exciting.
Be sure to check it out.
What is that? Which one is this?
Supernatural.
Oh, I'm part of that one.
Yeah, you are.
My bad.
Until next time, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody. Have a good night.
This has been a Distractions Media production. For more info, you can check out everything we do on distractionsmedia.com.
Did you know that Distractions has its own Twitch channel? You can actually find everything that we're doing and all of our various streamers at twitch.tv/distractionsmedia. Check us out, won't you?